Hey, it's your girl Yolanda over here at Forever Landa, and welcome back to the channel. Over here we do all things planning, lifestyle, DIY home decor, and sometimes we get in the kitchen and we do a little cooking. As you can tell by the pictures in the thumbnail, we're going to be cooking today. I'm going to be sharing with you what I eat in a day while I'm following the Daniel fast. If this sounds like something that you're interested in or want to know more about, go ahead and stick around. See you on the other side, everybody. When doing the Daniel fast, one of the things that we do is we give up processed foods and we only eat whole grains, fruits, and vegetables. So this morning I'm going to be doing some blueberry oatmeal. So I'm making enough. This is actually one serving, but I don't eat a lot, and I'm making enough for myself and my mother-in-law who's with me this morning. So I put in a half a cup of rolled oats into the pan, a dash of salt, some cinnamon, and gave it a stir. And then I used a plant-based milk. I actually use almond milk, but you can use any plant-based milk that you want. And I added 1 cup of almond milk. I then added what looks to be about 2 teaspoons of honey, and then about 6 or 7 blueberries. So I'm going to just let that simmer and I'll keep stirring. I'm going to now slice up some strawberries to serve on the top of the oatmeal. So I'm just giving it like a nice thin slice so that I can fan it out in the bowl. And I'm just kind of getting the stems out of the way and cutting it up and just getting it ready. Now, in between, I'm also going and stirring the oatmeal just to make sure it gets a good stir. I'm also going to slice up the bananas, and the bananas will also go on the top of the oatmeal. So you just saw me take a nice quick little bite of the banana there. So going back to the blueberry oatmeal, and I'm just for those that haven't burst yet, I'm using the spoon to kind of help them go ahead and burst. That's what gives the oatmeal this nice pretty blue purple color. And I'm adding in just another drizzle of honey, and you can cook the oatmeal as long as you like, whether you like your oatmeal a little thin or a little thicker. I like my oatmeal very stiff, so I'm just going to cook it until almost all of the moisture is out. So now that the oatmeal is ready, I'm going to start getting my bowls ready and prepped for serving. So I'm splitting this one serving into 2 bowls, and I'll put 2 spoonfuls each of the oatmeal, and then I'm going to start garnishing with the fruit, and then put a little bit of honey on the top of the oatmeal. I also added some vanilla in the pot when making the oatmeal. And if you're vegan, this is an awesome breakfast that you can have as well. And I'm a strong proponent that you eat with your eyes first. So I always try to make my plates look pretty. It just makes a difference to me when it's pretty. It makes it more appetizing. So that's what I'm doing. I layered my plate with strawberries, bananas, blueberries. I also added in some shaved coconut. Make sure you pick up the unsweetened kind. And now drizzling in some crushed pecans. My mother-in-law only wanted strawberries and blueberries on her plate, and also just a little bit of coconut. And I went on ahead and just drizzled a little honey on the top. And there's your blueberry oatmeal. So I'm working from home, and today's one of those days where I'm going to have a later lunch than normal. So I went on ahead and said, you know what, let me go ahead and make me a smoothie. So I'm just putting in some frozen fruit that I have in the freezer. I'm adding in a handful of spinach. I'm also have some strawberries, blueberries, and blackberries that I had in the fridge. And I just plopped those in. And I had some V8, no sugar added juice. Because of the Daniel fast, I'm not doing any processed sugar or even sweet and low or sugar substitute. So this is my banana leftover from breakfast, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and add it to my smoothie mix, and it'll give it that nice creamy kind of texture. Make it almost like a milkshake. So I'm shaking it up, making sure everything gets nice and blended in here. And yeah, this is another little quick snack, all vegan and also very good for those of you who are on the Daniel fast. It's been a busy day, and I was like, oh my goodness, let me go make something really quick for lunch. This is something you can also make ahead and just take it out the fridge later and warm it up. So I sliced up a couple of cherry tomatoes and put them in a pan. I'm now going to slice up some garlic that I have. I love buying the garlic that's already peeled, and depending upon the recipe is how large or small I make the garlic. So I'm keeping it fairly large. I have a love affair with garlic, so I'm definitely keeping it large. And I am now going to take this red onion. I had a little bit left over from another meal that I placed in a Ziploc bag in the fridge. So I'm now giving it just a rough slice. I'm keeping it fairly large. I'm going for rustic here, and now I'm going to take some mushrooms that I have and then add to my pan as well. And I'm just giving them a nice little slice where they're just thin enough. Now, when I buy my herbs, I go ahead and I wash them when I get them, and then I, clean out the container, put them back in the container, and store them that way in the fridge. That way, I'm not wasting containers and everything. So, I just added some rosemary and thyme, and now I'm adding some salt to this, and just a little bit more just to give it some flavor. And I'm adding some fresh ground black pepper to this as well. And now I'm going to, after I add the black pepper, I'm going to add this flavored olive oil. I'll be sure to link in the cards above the video from where I make the flavored olive oil. I now realize, you know what? This is not gonna, this is too little. I need something a little bit bigger. So I'm going to go give my hands a quick wash and pour it into a nice bigger pan. And I'm going to place this in the oven on 350 for about 15-20 minutes. I actually went back and added onion powder and garlic powder. I don't know how much. I literally just season until my ancestors say, you know what, Yolanda, that's enough. Now, I found some sugar-free bread. Like, I didn't know that, you think you're buying healthy only to realize that almost everything in the store actually has sugar in it. It's so hard to find things that don't have sugar added or some sugar substitute. So I found this multi-grain bread that doesn't have any sugar added. I placed a little bit of my flavored olive oil in the pan, and now just like letting it get lightly toasted on both sides so that I can serve this for my lunch. All in all, this lunch doesn't take a whole lot, and like I said, some of this you can do in advance. So now that my bread now that my bread has a nice good toast on it, I'm now going to head back over And I'm going to spread a little bit of hummus. This is some red pepper hummus, and I checked the ingredients. You know, I look for things where you can pronounce everything that's on the ingredient list. So I put a nice thin layer of hummus. You can use avocado as well, and then a nice thin layer of spinach. And now I'm going to take the roasted vegetables and then add it to the toast. This is the first time I've tried this recipe, and when I tell you this was amazing, oh my goodness, this was amazing. I made one for my son a little bit later, and he said 10 out of 10, Mom. And so I'm now just topping it with a little bit of everything but the bagel. And, you know, I had to move it, get a nice little picture for, you know, the gram. It's dinner time, and if you've had a day like I've had, then you are so looking forward to a nice bite to eat and then just to sit and relax. So I'm going to try some buffalo cauliflower tacos. That's this recipe I saw on Pinterest, and of course just put a little my spin to it. So I have some fresh corn on the cob. I cleaned it, washed it. Now I'm spreading it in a pan. I'm going to now drizzle a little bit of olive oil on it and then season it with some salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder that I have. It's all mixed together in complete seasoning. Just give the corn a nice little swirl and then place it in the oven and bake it for 350 for about 30 minutes. If you're enjoying these cooking videos, go ahead and let me know, and I'll definitely be sure to do more of them. So now I am cutting up my cauliflower. So this is the first time I actually got a whole head of cauliflower. I normally just buy it already cut. And it was at this moment that I realized I had no clue. I didn't know what I was doing. So I did the best that I could to get the cauliflower into nice, even cuts. You know, I wanted it to almost look like the drumstick on a chicken wing, kind of. Since this was going to be buffalo, just to kind of give everyone the illusion that they were having a piece of buffalo chicken. So I'm chopping this up and putting it in a strainer so then I can go back and give it a nice good wash before I finish cooking. I had a presentation, so I had to switch my my clothes from earlier today, and so I still have that dress on. So I have some Hooters pre-flour. So I was very surprised when I was in the store because I was actually looking to get some almond flour to make, but I saw in the store this Hooters flour is made with whole wheat, red pepper, and some other wholesome ingredients, and it actually made it suitable for me to use while we're on the Daniel fast. So I have in the back bowl some almond milk, but you can use any plant-based milk that you of your choice. And I'm just soaking the cauliflower in the almond milk first. You know, I'm trying to do like this whole batter thing to give it that crispiness. And I'm actually going to do this cauliflower in my air fryer. My air fryer, I have the extra large power air fryer. I'll be sure to link it in the description box. But I have this air fryer, and it actually has racks, so I can cook a lot in it at any given time. And I actually did 3 racks of the cauliflower buffalo mix, and I placed it in the air fryer on 350 for 20 minutes is what the recipe called for. And I say just kind of watch it because you want a nice crisp on the cauliflower. So now I'm going to just make some pico. I have a tomato here. I believe these are just vine ripe tomatoes. I'm giving them a nice rough chop, placing them in the bowl. I'm then going to follow up with diced red onions on into the bowl, follow with some cilantro and the juice of 2 limes, and give it a nice quick stir. Every year around this time, my family and we do the Daniel fast. My husband will typically do 40 days, and the kids and we will do 21 days. It's actually not as hard as you think, and I have been going, and searching and just really looking for things that we can have that's vegan, that doesn't call for a lot of the processed foods. And so if you want me to share more recipes that you can have during the Daniel fast, or even more vegan recipes, although we're not vegan all the time, I do a lot of vegan/vegetarian meal options. Definitely let me know, and I'll be sure to start adding more of those cooking videos to my channel. If you want to know more about all of the process with the Daniel fast, also let me know. The one thing I do know is that it's more than just eating better, but it's also about a process of communicating with God and just getting yourself mentally prepared. It reminds me of a reset. Now, I can tell you that the other day my husband looked at me and he was like, "Oh my gosh, your skin looks really good." So I do know that because we have been diligently following this diet, that my skin has looked so much better than before. So there's something about eating excuse me, I can't talk, right? Eating wholesome that really, really is beneficial. So I prepped and added another bowl because I'm going to make a quick slaw. I have this vegetable slaw that I picked up from Publix. It's purple cabbage, regular green cabbage, and carrots added to it. I also found some dairy-free vegan classic ranch. I'm just going to add a drizzle of that to the slaw to be used in the tacos. So while I'm mixing this up, I have my griddle heating for my corn tortillas. I'm going to warm those up really quickly, and so we can start making our cauliflower tacos. So for each one of the corn tortillas, I'm not letting them stay on that long. I'm just letting them get a touch of heat on each side. And then I'm going to actually put them in a pan that I have with aluminum. So I'll have it try to keep the warmth in. I don't have a tortilla press. Maybe that's something I should add to my list of kitchen toys to get. So I'm just did a makeshift. Now, while this is also going on, I purchased Hooters buffalo sauce, and it also fits the requirements of the Daniel fast. And I took the cauliflower, I don't have this on video, sorry. I took the cauliflower out of the air fryer, and then I dipped it in the buffalo sauce, put it in a pan, and placed the pan under a high broil in my oven and let it stay for about 5 minutes. So now I have the corn tortillas. I'm going to go ahead and drop a little bit of the slaw down, and then I'm going to follow this with the buffalo cauliflower. here. I'm putting like 1 to 2 pieces here on there and just adding them to the tacos. I'm going to follow this up with a little bit of the pico that I made, and I'm also going to add in some pickled jalapenos that I picked up from the grocery store to the tacos, and I'm drizzling a little bit of this ranch on the top, and I'm going to serve all of this with that oven roasted corn on the cob. My son said this was amazing. So his two favorites were the veggie toast and then the tacos. He said this was amazing. He really enjoyed it. And I did top the tacos with a little bit of the cilantro. And of course, another picture for the gram. Come on, everybody, you have to have dessert. So my dessert consists of watermelon popsicles. It's just I put chunks of watermelon in the popsicle holders, blended the rest of the watermelon, and poured it in. I made these a little earlier in the day, and now we're going to eat them. Yeah, they're okay. Definitely not a favorite. I guess I'll keep improving on the recipe. It's your girl Yolanda. Hopefully you guys enjoyed all of the meals that we've prepared today. And if you like this video, please don't hesitate to give it a thumbs up. Make sure to turn on that notification bell. And of course, I just want to say, if you haven't already, go ahead and please subscribe. We appreciate all of your support, and we're going to say bye-bye now. See you later.